afternoon guys, Mark, Pinnacle Angling. Welcome to 2025. Today is the 3rd of January and it is the first session filmed of 2025. Hopefully we're going to get off to a strong start, but as you know, January can be an absolutely brutal time in the Bristol Channel. So today, if I could land some whitetail and a dog, maybe a small-eyed ray, I'd be absolutely over the moon. As you've probably seen by the thumbnail, I'm fishing on Witches Point. So at the moment, I've got here about, what's the time? It's 10 to 2. So I've got here about an hour and a half before low water. I'm going to fish it, I'm going to fish it down, fish it all the way back up, and I'm going to fish a couple of hours back down as well. So I'm looking at a 10-hour session today, fingers crossed, unless I run out of bait, which would be very nice. But yes, the weather's not too bad. There's a bit of a northwesterly wind coming over. By the time I get up on the top, tuck myself in on the left-hand side of the point, I'm not going to feel any of the wind. I don't really feel it now, but it is there. Something really beautiful about winter fishing. Don't know what it is, especially on days like today. First cast, pulley rig, 3/0 predators, cool squid. Hopefully we can get us into our first fish for 2025. Let's go and see what we can do. I don't know if you can see water in the background. And so Gareth Griffiths, his son, working their way around. They're going to fish off the bottom reef there and then go up on the side ledges. They seem to have had the same idea as myself today. Come down, fish all the flood. I'm going to be fishing on the point, but the boys are going to be fishing up on the ledge to the left, just to get out of the wind. And yeah, as you see from the drone shot, right, which is you can fish three places. You can fish the point where I am now. You've got the ledges to the left hand side as you walk down the point, and then you've also got the green bank up on the top as you come through before you walk over towards the point. All of them really good marks. The green bank you fish towards what you call wick, and then the ledges you're fishing out into the sandy bay, and then obviously the point you're fishing out into the channel. So there's plenty of places to fish when you're on witches. Some of them are really good to get out of a westerly wind, round on the ledges, over the side, and on the green bank. You're high up, you're out to the swells, you're nice and safe. As long as you know what you're doing there, don't fish it on your own, because there's a drop into the water. But yeah, we'll. Seems like the best fishing guide in the UK had the same idea as myself today. So fingers crossed we're on to a winner. Right, I'm going to try and cover all bases today. I'm fishing two rods. One is going to have a pulley on it. That's primarily going to be fishing with a ray bait, but if something else picks it up, absolutely fantastic. The other rod at the moment, I'm going to be fishing with a 3-hook flapper. It's going to have small little bits of mackerel. Maybe I can catch maybe a whiting or a pouting or something that I could use for bait over high water. Something I've been kind of keeping quiet. I've been using them for a while, but I've been trialing for my brand these crimp swivels. Now these crimp swivels are rated up to 20 kilo, and that is a 80-pound chameleon rig body going through the middle. So the hole will take a line up to around about 0.9 of a millimeter. So you get 100mm line through the crimp swivel, and then the crimp swivel is actually rated at 20 kilo. So I've used them in the past, right? But you know, using these now, making 3-hook flappers instead of crimp, bead, swivel, bead, swivel, crimp, bead, swivel. You know what I mean? There's a lot of components that go on a thing. You know, making these up, literally. Make a rig body, drop 3 on, place them in the right place, hook lengths, and you're done. You know, so that's something that I'm potentially going to be bringing out in the new year. So today, this 3-hook flapper with the crimp swivels, we got some size 2s. We're going to bait up with some mackerel, and then hopefully there's some smaller bait fish out there that we can use later on. The baits I'm using today as well, look, some mackerel. These from the Nap halfway through the year. I got some squid, I got a bluey, and I got a pilchard as well. So it's mostly fish baits today, and yeah, we'll be fishing for rays. There might be a chance of an eel, but for the most part we are ray fishing today. So drop that down. All I want is around about the size of the hook. I get 3 baits out of that. Three baits out of that, and then hopefully we can get into some nice bait fish. As always, trusty bait and needle. I'd be lost without this thing. Literally. Wind has died right down now as well, so hopefully you haven't got any wind noise on the camera. Stick off that hook.
I think the hook too big for him.
Ah, was it?
Yeah, it's sucking the worm off.
Yeah. So here we are. We got size 2. We got mackerel. I'm not going to show you the other 2 hooks because this is going to be exactly the same. We're going to get that out there now because I've seen one of the other lads who's up there now. He's just had a rattling bite. So I think there's some pouting out there. And then hopefully as the sun goes down and we drop into darkness, the fishing turns on, because Witches has always got potential to absolutely go crazy. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Right, for me it's been really quiet so far. I haven't had a bite, but I'm hoping that changes now. One of the guys on here as well has just pulled in a 1 pound 6 pouting, absolute monster of a fish. So fingers crossed, that's going to start playing out for us all. They've donated a little bit of ragworm to me because I've come a little bit underprepared, so thank you very much for that. And I've just put some out on a 3-hook flapper. I got a loop rig out with bluey and squid and the squid head on the small hook, and then a 3-hook flapper with squid head and ragworm. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I can get into a fish as well. As the light dies by here now, I think it looks really good. It's got really good potential to switch on tonight. The wind has died right off. The sea is flat calm, and now we're going to be fishing into darkness. So fingers crossed. Oh, here you go, guys. There's the first fish of 2025, and true to form, it was always going to be the dogfish. He's a nice doggy, nice and thick. At first I thought it was a little baby huss, but it's not. It's a dog. So we get it unhooked, get it back, but at least we haven't blanked on the first session of 2025. Ah, there we go. It's the first fish of 2025. Dogfish. What else would it be? Just glad to get out and get my account underway for 2025. Speaking of 2025, I've got some big things planned for Pinnacle Angling. Obviously, long-time followers of the channel will know that I'm bringing out my own brand of fishing rod to go with my own brand of hooks and swivels and terminal tackle. It looks like they'll be available from March. When I get a delivery date, I'm going to set up a pre-order. I'm only going to open up 15 spaces for pre-order for the rods. I think it's a nice enough number where we should be able to sell that out. And then I'm also in contact with some shops as well. I've had a couple of shops show some interest And there's another one I need to, there's another online mail order company I need to speak to about having some of Pinnacle stuff. So fingers crossed, if that pans out, that will be major. But yeah, 2025 is also going to be the first year for the Pinnacle Angling podcast. So I've set up everything I need to set up my end. What I'm going to be doing, it's going to be remote, so it'll be talking head style podcast where I speak to different people from the fishing industry, business owners, top rods, you name it. We're going to try and get them on. We're going to try and maybe some content creators, whatever. So I'm going to try and do monthly episodes where I speak to different people. We get their insights into fishing, what got them into fishing, why they still continue to fish, why they do what they do. And then, yeah, hopefully that's a bit of content that you guys might find interesting. Speaking of interesting, I'll show you a little bit of a bait up now for bluey and squid. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing out of the spectacular. Literally a loop rig with a bluey head on the big hook, and then some ragworm on the small hook. So the way I do my loop rigs, I do a 3/0 on the bottom, and then I do a size 1 on the top. The reason I do that is just so I can cover most angles, most bases with my bait up. So I'm not just putting all my eggs into the ray basket or the eel basket or whatever. So if there's anything smaller out there or anything that doesn't want to fish bait, but it's more than happy to take a ragworm bait or crab or whatever, then we've covered our base too, you know. So this is a bluey head bound onto some Pinnacle Aberdeen hooks, size 3/0. I like to use the Aberdeens on my loop rigs because they're smaller. It's more of my match fishing style. This is loop rigs and flappers and clipped rigs, and you know, most of the time you guys see me using pulleys with 3/0 predator hooks. When I'm match fishing, it's more loop rigs and clipped rigs, smaller hooks. So right, as you can see, it's beautiful. So I've nipped the nose off just below the eyes, just to start releasing all our scent, and it is absolutely bumping out there. So that's a prime bait, hopefully something other than a dogfish. We've done them now, we've took that species off for the year. Don't want to catch any more of them this year now, unless it's in a match. And then on the top we've got size, this is a size 2 actually, no, size 1. And then we're just gonna thread on let me cut this head off, nip the head and tail off, and then gonna thread on a ragworm. Get him over the knock, get him sitting nice and tight on the rig, and then there we are. There's a nice ragworm bait to go on the top hook. So we get that out there now, and then hopefully I'll be reporting back with some fish. But yeah, the Pinnacle Angling podcast, that's going to be coming next month. Or yeah, I'm going to film I think probably three episodes and get them released to you then every month going forward. So I'm hoping I can do one a month, and I promise you, fans of the channel, people who enjoy watching my content, I am going to try a lot harder this year to get the content out. Last year, well, my first year was pretty decent. I got, I want to say about 18 videos out in the first year. Last year, my second year, I think I only done six or seven videos. So it's not enough. It's not enough for me, and hopefully it's not enough for you guys. So yeah, I'm going to try and bring some more content this year. Hopefully some better content as well. Different places, different targets, different venues, different rigs. Going to try and broaden my horizons when it comes to content creation, instead of just giving you the same old places over and over. He says as he's sitting on witches, which he's done many videos on in the past. But yeah, fingers crossed for the big 2025, and I hope you guys are going to come along with me. Fish number 2, dog number 2. They're a decent sized stamp for a dogfish, but hopefully this is the last one I see tonight. It's the last one I'm going to show you guys anyway, so even if I catch 100 more, no more doggies will be shown to you. I couldn't put you guys through that on the first video of 2025, so yeah, we get him unhooked, get him back, and then hopefully we fight through these, and there's a small irate out there that wants to take a bait. But yeah, not a bad start. 2 fish. Hopefully plenty more in the tank. I'm going to mix it up with the next one now. 3-hook flapper, ragworm. Instead of casting out straight towards the point, I'm going to toss it straight in the bay towards the car park. Probably a 90-degree angle. It's not going to go very far, but we'll see if there's anything in the bay as well. We got 2 rods, we might as well mix it up a little bit. It hasn't gone far, it's gone about 30 yards, 40 yards, but on witches, on the right hand side there's a bit of mixed ground, broken ground, so you can get in amongst the sand and the some of the mixed stuff as well. So fingers crossed that'll bring us a bit of luck. Right. I've just had a 3rd dog, as promised. I'm not gonna keep showing them to you. I've definitely found the dogs casting out towards the point. So what I've done now, I'm sending both baits into the bay. Hopefully, there's something on that nice flat sandy beach that wants it, that isn't a dogfish. So I'm still at the moment. There's a 3-hook flapper out there, fully loaded with ragworm. And there is a pulley out there with a whole squid. So this loop rig, top hook, I'm going to chuck another ragworm, cut his head off from there. Just nip the head and tail off, get a bit of scent releasing. And then on the bottom hook we're going to chuck half a mackerel head. Not half a mackerel head, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the mackerel head straight up the middle in half, like, you know. So right, there's our ragworm bit, and then I've got a mackerel head. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it straight up through the mouth, straight up through the head, and try and separate it, and oh, look at that, absolutely spiffing. So what I'm going to do, I cut that in half, get that bit off, and I cut that in half, right, and then I'm going to bind it back to back. So hopefully we're just going to have a bait which is full of crazy scent. which I can guarantee you is going to catch a dog. So look, I'm going back to back with it, and then we're going to bait it up. We put it on the bottom hook of the brig. Right, so that's how it's looking. Here's my hook. Trio Aberdeen. Down. Straight out. And then we're just going to bind that on. Hold it in place. We'll snip off all the excess and all the bits which are kind of not looking aerodynamic. And then we'll have a banging bait ready to go out and hopefully get picked up by a ray, because I don't want any more dogs. I already have 3 of them. So see the top bit, we're just going to snip that off just to make sure it's nice and aerodynamic, and then that's what we've got. Look at all that scent ready to come out of there and release into the water, hopefully entice a fish along. Don't forget your rag when you go fishing as well, because just because you need a rag. I forgot many a rag when I've gone fishing. I've had to cut socks up and all sorts. So right, let's get that out there. Right, that's all I seem to be catching is dogs now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I got a nice bloody squid and mackerel bait. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a rotten bottom on, and I'm going to send this literally out in front of the point into the rough stuff, and then hopefully there's something patrolling down there that wants to take my bait, because whether I cast out straight or whether I cast out left or right, I seem to be into the dog. So try something different. That's what I'm trying to say. So one of the lads fishing to my left, Josh, he caught a monster of a pouting. He kindly donated it to me once I explained to him that I wanted to use it to try and catch a massive conger eel. So this is the pout. So on the bottom end I got a 3/0 predator. I got a 3/0 predator, and then I got a circle hook on the top. It's not the ideal rig I want to use for what I'm doing, but what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to just put this in close, and hopefully this fresh pouting bait is going to entice an eel out. So all I've done is cut the fillet off the side of it. I've bound it into a sausage on my needle, and I'm just going to bind it on. So I don't mind the bait being too long when I'm fishing for eels, as long as I got a hook either side, top and bottom. The hook of the bait don't really matter. So I bring the circle. I'm not going to put the circle hook in the bait. I'm just going to wrap it around so it sits just above, and then I will bind that on around it. I'll say no, I can probably go through it. Yeah. Right, there we go. So we got a beautiful pouting bait, which we're going to put in close, and then hopefully that's going to get us into a conger, because I got the 3 o'clock flapper out there with ragworm now. It was biting just before I started filming this. I've had about 5 dogs. I'm assuming that's another dog, but we won't know until we get it in. If I don't show you what it is, you know it's a dog. Hopefully I'll be coming back to you with something that isn't a dog. But yeah, that poked in is going about 30 yards out. Rotten bottom on the end of it. All I'm going to be doing is a weak line going from the bottom of the rig to the lead. I'm not casting it, I'm only going to be flicking it, so the line is more than substantial to keep that attached, and then hopefully that's going to it's going to start us our 2025 off with a bang and a big ass conger fish. Fingers crossed.
That was my fish. Got a bit of slack line there. What was it?
Fucking eel.
Oh! Bastard.
Right. That's just bit straight through 80-pound fucking chameleon.
Well, that's tough line, that is. That's why you went slack and bit through it.
Oh my god. So, felt there, 80-pound chameleon, bit straight through. Oh my god. That's what happens when you're trying to mess around with the camera, trying to mess around with lights, instead of just getting into the fish. I've just lost a really good eel messing about. Look at it, straight through. That eel was big. I'm doing that again. I got a gaff there.
What, you lost it?
Oh.
Oh!
Right. Nice, thank you back.
Right there.
Didn't even lose a lead. Woo!
Grab it on you like.
No, I'm gonna tell her. There you go. Sometimes playing outside thinking outside the box, dropping one in short with a bit of fresh bait, turns out into this cracking eel. It's about 6-7 pounds, it's not massive, but still, anything that gives a tug back on the end of the rod is more than welcome. What a start to 2025. There you go. Look at him, look. Old battle scars. You've only actually got one eye. He's missing the other one. But look at that, fresh pout in close. I actually borrowed a wire trace after my chameleon got bit through. The boys up to my left donated a wire trace to me to do exactly the same thing. And look at the end results. He wasn't biting through this one. So thank you boys for lending me the rig. Thank you for giving me the bait. I really appreciate it, because this all culminated in a beautiful conger eel and the second species of the day. So we get him unhooked, get some pictures, and then we get him back. But we definitely start in 2025 with a bang. Right, we're going to call it a day now, guys. I just want to say thank you to everybody who've stuck the video out and stayed till the end. Hopefully 2025 is going to be a better year for the channel, content wise. I'm hoping with the podcast being a monthly episode, and also videos on a monthly basis. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to treble the amount of content that I put out last year. So yeah, don't forget guys, www.pinnacleangling.co.uk. keep your eyes peeled for the release of the podcast, and keep your eyes peeled for the pre-order of the Pinnacle S1 fishing rods. Things are starting to take shape. See you soon.